In this video, we'll discuss different ways in which you can raise capital to expand your business or to upgrade to the iPass 2 Black membership level. Many of you have expressed concern and the desire to become a Black member. Pay close attention. If you already are an iPass 2 Black member, congratulations. This video will still be helpful in helping you to find different ways to come up with additional money to purchase more traffic, which in turn will get you more sales and more money into your pocket. First, I want you to address the fact that this universe is very abundant and there truly is money all around you. You must know that you do manifest absolutely everything into your life at some level. You can literally be, do, and have anything you want in life. But it all starts with being mentally prepared to accept it and knowing in your heart that you deserve it. You deserve abundance. It is your birthright. Now, I realize that for some of you, this may be a little bit awkward to hear, especially if you're left brain dominant and if you're a linear critical thinker, but I still ask you to keep an open mind. You are the creator of your world, and as such, you have the power to make the change that you have been seeking. In fact, it's fair to say that you've joined iPass 2 precisely because you want to make a financial change. And that is what this is all about. It's about empowering you and uplifting you so that you can change your financial reality. First, we'll touch upon how you can hack your brain. I know that sounds funny, but you really can use your brain as a money machine. And I'm going to go into an exercise here that will help you to do just that. Again, I will ask you to please keep an open mind. Are you ready? In order to do the following exercise in the best way possible, I highly encourage you to listen to binaural beats. Binaural beats are sounds in which the tone in each ear is slightly different. Therefore, when you're listening, your brain has to entrain. It has to align both the left hemisphere and the right hemisphere to create one sound. Binaural beats work best when you're using headphones, and they stimulate your alpha brain waves, which are responsible for creativity, a sense of deep calm, less stress, sharp focus, confidence, and overall well-being. So I do want you to keep that in mind. Now, let's take a look at the exercise. Now, in this exercise, we will be using time distortion, in which you will literally make yourself feel that you have already accomplished that which you want to accomplish. So, let's take a crack at it. You would start with I, and you insert your name. Therefore, in my case, I would do, I, Isa, am sitting at my desk. It's 3:17 p.m. As I log into my back office and look at the training modules that I own, I can't believe how easy it was to get the money to become a Black member in less than 7 days. As I take a breath and inhale and exhale, I feel a sense of relief and accomplishment. Then, as I gaze back onto my computer screen, I look back over the last 7 days, and I remember exactly what it is that I did to make this happen. Go ahead, write this paragraph out. It's a powerful exercise when you write it out, and as you're writing it out, clearly read it. And remember, you're going to focus on the word was as if it has already happened. And the reason for doing this is your brain really cannot tell time. For all intents and purposes, time is just what we as humans label the motion of our consciousness. If it weren't for the sun and the moon and your watch, you really wouldn't be conscientious of time. So for that very same reason, you're going to hack into your brain and you are going to make yourself feel and believe that you have already accomplished your goal, whether it's raising money for traffic or raising money to become an iPass 2 Black member. After you have written this paragraph and you want to handwrite it, it's more powerful when you write it out by hand instead of typing it out on a computer, you will immediately underneath it, you will write a straight black line. Now you'll have to make a list. And this will take a little bit of time, but it's okay. Your financial future is worth a few minutes. So go ahead and list out 50 ways that come to your mind in which you can make money. Write them down. It could be anything from selling the skis that you have not used in the last 5 years, selling the Bowflex that's collecting dust in your basement. You could look at different ways to cut down on certain expenses. I know people who have completely cut out their cable altogether. They've canceled their newspaper delivery. They have sold their bicycle and their exercise equipment. They've sold their TVs, and they've decided to just watch movies on Netflix on their computer. If you put your mind to it, you can come up with many ways to make some money. And just let yourself flow freely in your thought and notice what your eye keeps going back to. Whatever your eye keeps going back to, you'll find that one or two of these really seem to be attracting your eye. That means that that is probably your answer to create that money that you want to expand your business. Do this exercise and you will find that you do have many options. In fact, your life really isn't about the things that you own, it's about the experiences that you want to have. So true wealth and true abundance really isn't about having the finest toys. It's about having the freedom to do what you want to do, to pursue your passion. And I truly want you to think about that. Scott Slatoff had an example in which, in a way, in an attempt to come up with the money, he decided to sell his motorcycle. He had a Triumph TT60 or something of the sort, I believe, very unique and rare, and it had been brought over from Great Britain and assembled in the showroom. It was a 2002, and it was his pride and joy. However, he realized that his financial future was worth so much more than that motorcycle. He realized that that motorcycle would provide him the money to expand his business. So I'm not telling you to sell everything, but I am telling you that you can certainly think of ways to declutter your life. If you haven't used a specific item in a few years, it's probably a good indicator that you can do away with it. And speaking of decluttering, look at Craigslist, look at eBay, look at Backpage, have a garage sale. There is probably quite a few things that you own that you can get rid of. Some people have sold their TVs, someone else sold their entire living room set, someone sold their living room set and their bedroom set, and they decided to just keep a futon. Now, I'm not saying that you should live as if you have nothing, but I am saying that if you're investing in your financial future, you will not let anything hold you back. Excuses do not provide results. They only entrap you. And this is about you focusing on your life of freedom. So make it a point of decluttering, selling what you have that you don't use. Another thing that you may do is you may decide to go to garage sales. And if you find something in a garage sale that you can resell on Craigslist or eBay, that may be an option for you. Take a look on eBay. You'll see people sell anything and everything. Heck, I was shocked to find 8-tracks. I personally just moved very recently, 6 weeks ago, and I've realized that there is a lot of things that I don't need. So I encourage you to take a sincere look at what you have and determine what your future is worth. Forget about the difficulty that you have had. Forget about the current situation that you're in right now, because all of that can change in the blink of an eye. It really can. If you set your mind to it, you truly can make anything happen. And I wish to impress that upon you more than anything. A lot of you may feel angry at your situation, and you may feel that you are a victim of circumstance. And I'm not discounting where you may be at this moment, but I am saying that it's only temporary. And Robert Kiyosaki says it best. He says that being broke is only temporary. However, being poor is eternal. So I urge you to think like a wealthy person, think like an abundant person, and you will find ways to make this your reality. Now, these are some tangible ideas for you. Some of you may have 401ks. Consider tapping into them. Now, some of you might be thinking, oh, well, there's penalties. On average, yes, the penalties are 7 to 10%. But let me ask you this. Are you going to let a penalty of, say, let's say that you were to borrow $5,000 from a 401k. If the penalty is 10%, would you allow $500 to stop you from earning several thousand in your business? I didn't think so. So the point is, look at what you have. If you have a life insurance policy, specifically whole life insurance policies, call them. See if you can get a loan against your life insurance policy. I will say that only works for whole and not for term. You may want to consider a payday loan. You may see if you can get an advance on your credit cards. You can, of course, always borrow from friends or family. Some people campaign and they borrow from 10 friends. Others borrow the full amount from just one person. Now, some of you may not feel comfortable borrowing, and that's fine. If you own your own home, you may want to call your mortgage company and see what your options are in terms of deferring your mortgage payment. You do have options. You just need to know that you want to succeed in your business bad enough so that you don't allow anything to hold you back. Now, I want you to think about credit unions. These are very similar to banks, but they're owned by their members, and these usually have a thread of commonality, be it the same industry or the same area. Now, credit unions are by definition nonprofit entities, and as such, they pass the earnings on to members by way of lower fees and usually fantastic customer service. If you go to asmarterchoice.org, you will find a nationwide directory of credit unions in your area. Now, to give you some ideas, with credit unions, I know people who have gone into a credit union, they've opened an account, and they've requested a loan. They've done the following. Some people have used the loan to become a Black member. Other people have used the loan to consolidate their high-interest credit card debt. Once they've paid off that high-interest credit card debt with a much lower rate from the credit union loan, their credit card companies then turn around and increase their limits, and some credit card companies even offer them a 0% APR for either 6 months or a year, and then they turn around and they use the credit card to invest it into their business. So this is an option for you. Now, for those of you who may be concerned that your credit is not perfect, credit unions are a lot less picky when it comes to credit scores, and this is a good thing. Now, if you want to do a quick little credit boost, and this isn't going to make your score go through the roof, but it will give you a bump anywhere between 25 to 40 points. You can have someone who you completely trust, who trusts you, to add you onto their credit card as an authorized user. So let's say, for example, that I have had a Visa card for 5 years and that I have never, ever, ever had a late payment on my card. So that card has a sterling history. And more importantly, let's say that I owe less than 35% of my credit limit. So if I have a $10,000 Visa card and I only have an outstanding balance of $3,500, again, it has a 5-year history and it has 0 late payments ever. Then what I could do is I could call Visa and I could say, hey, I need to add my sister, my friend, I need to add so-and-so as an authorized user. This is their name, this is their social security card, their social security number, add them onto my card. Visa will then mail me a credit card. It is my credit card number, but it will have her name on it. And now, within 10 days, on her credit report, she will have an additional trade line that has this sterling history of payment, and that will give her a credit score boost. It's going to depend, the points will depend on the credit repository, because there's actually three. You have Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. Experian is the strictest one, so Experian will only give you 20 to 25 points in terms of a boost, and Equifax is the most lenient. With Equifax, you'll usually see a 40-point boost on your credit score. So that's just a little tip for you to keep in mind. Another option for you is peer-to-peer lending. It's been around since 2005. It's an online platform that allows you to borrow directly from people, from peers, instead of from a traditional bank. It is streamlined, and it's truly a win-win, because as a borrower, you can pay a very low interest rate, and as an investor, if you want to help people by lending money, you earn high rates. So you can borrow for as little as 6.5%, sometimes even lower, and you can earn an average of 10.5% on money that you lend people. And the nice thing with peer-to-peer platforms is that, let's say you're requesting a $10,000 loan. It's not one person who's lending you that money. It's usually a pool of people. So let's say 10 people are each lending $1,000. Because they're minimizing the overall amount, it's a lot easier for you to get funding. Now, you will go on a site, on a peer-to-peer lending site, and you will post a loan request specifically explaining why you're seeking the loan. Investors review the request and they'll choose the ones they like best. The peer-to-peer lenders will screen you and they will run your credit report, and this will become part of your overall profile, your loan listing. So even though your credit score is still a bit of a factor, individual investors are more understanding of your cause, and peer-to-peer lending usually has fantastic success rates. The most popular peer-to-peer lending sites are Prosper.com, LendingClub.com, and Peerform.com. These are the most popular ones. There are more, but if you stick to these, you should be fine. Now, the next option is crowdfunding. And with crowdfunding, you're able to raise donations for your cause. So you could create a profile page identifying yourself, what your cause is, why you're trying to raise the funds. A lot of wealthy people will go to GoFundMe.com and they will anonymously make donations because they're actively seeking tax write-offs. So GoFundMe is a great option. Even if you don't raise the full amount which you're originally seeking, it's okay. Whatever you receive from GoFundMe is completely yours. It's not a